McCombs, McGetch. It's icing outside.
Storm must have knocked down some power lines.
I wish it would just snow. I like snow, but ice is always a mess.
Yeah, it's kinda cold too, Nui.
Big edge.
We can start a fire to keep warm.
Shkena, that was the last match, Michaud.
That's okay, Nui. Let's do it the traditional Potawatomi way.
What they are? That was cool, Michaud. Is that how our people used to start fires when we didn't have matches?
Konage no same. Yes, grandchild. Fire was important in the past, so often we would just keep a fire going at all times. Living up north, it was cold quite a bit. There are some places, like in Hannahville, which have a fire going constantly for the last 40 years.
What they are? That's cool. Aren't we also known as the people of the fire?
You have been listening, Nui. Many elders believe our Potawatomi name came from Bodwewadmi, which means they build a fire. We were part of a confederacy with the Ojibwa and Odawa called the Three Fires. The Ojibwa were the keepers of the faith, the Odawas keepers of the trade, and the Potawatomi keepers of the fire. We used flint and steel to start all of our ceremonial fires. Traditionally, we would use this fungus called skitagan, which grows on yellow birch trees, to help start our fires. Some people also use charcloth. It's helpful to keep some dry kindling such as an old bird nest or birch bark around. Let's listen to Elder Don Perot talk about the importance of the fire.
Ninsen asno. Okay, Don Perot Indigenous Cause. Oden goms na, we zit toch na ode schode. Gewoon ode bij wabak, minus na ode schokken, minus na ode schetagen. Goms is na maat mooi aan, een dood mooi aan, odem na do. En is ook mooi shit. Wat is schode ke aan gom. Aha, spamaks na. Ja, ik ode na dog. Mina go de jig weg. Ja, jib de boat iba. Ik kan nab me go jak na. Wat is het ske jak gom. Je odo ping gom. In dood mooi aan. En is ook mooi shit odem na do. Mina go dem na dog. Hij skit do jak na ode skode. Je ode skode is na. Ik ben mondage wat. Kode bodewad mik no epi. Wat je skito wat. Gewoon ode biwabak is na kadek ode. Mina ode skitagen. Mina jokken. Je is na kadek chayek. Oden swe od na. Het tem get shode. Mina is na ode kiwen. Wat je doyaks na ode skode. Skode keyak. Squatches e skode keyak. Ie. Gomstes na. Bian. Skitoyans na ode. En ik kwendem jan. Aan het na egi ritskewat no big ode. Mishomse nanak. Mina gode get sim nanak. Gode mishomsaben. Mishomsabenen. Oké na. Is na kaas wat. Aan het. Kewin wa. Egi dood mo awat na godem na doken godek. Egi pambet to wat shode. Minus na megwe pis na ode. Sagamakwe mina ode. Udak kiwen. Ie gom se mi kwendem jan. Sketoyans na ode skode. Minus na mi kwendem jan. Het ben dagsi jan na ode do dem. Chi gwen do dem na in de ben dagwas. Minus na in ben dagsi jan iba. Weet ik zat dem get Kansas is na kadek na gom i. Kiwen. Minus na oder Egi Nigyan Godaks na 1939, August 16th, Nagi Nigyan. Iba Kwaki, Kishnakadek, Iba Skans. Godaks na Egi Nakadawats na Goda Nishnabek, Wisconsin, Gomses, Nakadek in state. Yeah, he's not again Nigyan. Nakmuksna agi pambat toyansna agi dapnayansna odem shkukkiwen kekio yenayansna nakmuksna ejiayan enijok moyansna goda nishnabek goji pishna epadnizwat. Ja, odo pingom, ik doyan nomak. Oda nozwonens na, ik wawina ayan. Oda mishom saban. Nieuwge kwep, ik is na kazot. Na as, no. Kwijzen kas. Ik weet mo awats na, aan het goda. Den we magniks na. Ik heb je wat iba. Ni got chianjna. Ja, ina ripnojet we aan iba kwa kiksna. We wenduksna mi kwendem yan grom. Sina ejet skyanjna. Goji pishna pambat toyan pab madzian. Ednes wat goda nishnabek gojizna in de web na yan. Waja ni jok moyanjna. Kishpan jak nog wat, kishpan na dat wen dawat dap na wat mina ode is ze schmoen ode bode wat mi ze schmoen wat ik do wat na mish was wat na dap na wat na ode ze schmoen is na bi anjode is na mixchery anjode aha gom ze wish toz na ode schode. Aha. Army wedge. Aha. One of the squads now, he's a touch now, go the Nishnabbe. Yeah, order egi mish kuzet now the bodewad me. Aha. Here we stand in this kind of weather trying to start a fire, huh? Golly. Only them dumb Indians would do that. You book the way what go then snabek. You should get to watch na ish go there. You know what I said? Only those hard-headed Indians would do something like that. Trying to start a fire on a day like this. 90 degrees. Ye shkodek gets now the schnaben godek. Ye gimish kozitsna. I want to switch to English for a few seconds here and just kind of, by way of translating, so I want to translate what it is that I said in this Indian language, this Bodewadmi language. This is the way that our people did things at one time. What you saw me standing here with, that punk wood, we call that shkitdagan, and that flint, shogin, and that biwabuk, that iron striker. You saw me how on the second try that came to life right away, that shkitdagan. And that's the way Mr. Indian did his things at one time. So that's what he's known as. Bodewadmi, that means to make a fire. He went and made a fire for himself or herself. It's a neuter noun, therefore it means either him or her. So we could share that little bit with you as far as how our people did things at one time. I'm just about ready to burn myself here, but that's okay. I want you all to see how our people did things and relied on the natural elements to start their fires, their cook fires, their sacred fires. And what I said when I was introducing myself, I had told you that I am known as Na'a Snow. And what the literal translation of that means is warm wind from the south. That's my Indian name. I have 4 names, but that's my first one that I was given when I was 30 days old, where I was born, up there on the bluff. Nigyan means to be born, literally to be born. And so that's what I was telling you all about and explaining to you where I was. And I also shared with you that I'm ThunderClan. Chigwen Dodem and the Ben Dogzian. I said, I belong to the Thunders. That's how we refer to them. They are our family, our clan family, our spiritual family. And so I was telling you that I belong to those Thunders, and those are my clan brothers, my clan cousins, my uncles, my aunts. You see them running around here. It's very cloudy here right now. There is weather moving in. It's what I talked a little bit about also. So that's what I wanted to kind of comment on that just a little bit so that you understand what it was I was talking about. Skitoyan oder skode na oder skenwe ni jok moshit. Was skitoyak oder skode. Egi sketch na oder nishna bem no e pegi mish kozachna. Was skitochna oder skode. Gomsajna e pen moyaksna. Jayak e skitochna oder chmokman. Gomsajna e pen mot mina oder nishna bezna oder e skitochna oder skode. Aha, miigwech.
What did we do if we didn't have flint and steel?
We used a bow drill. It's a little slower process, but still doable.
I have this idea for this fire. I'm looking to build a bow drill. The bow, in this case, is going to be about 3 feet long. It's made from green material. This seems like it'd be strong enough right here. Now that I've got my bow, I just need to find the rest of the materials for the kit. So right now I'm carving the spindle and a hearth board out of the chaca tree, which is a great tree for starting fire. So this will be the spindle right here, and then this is the hearth up here.
The bow drill is made up of a spindle and a hearth board. Friction between the two pieces is generated by a bow that drives the spindle and creates an ember in the hearth.
I'm gonna go ahead and use the strap from my sandal for the bow. The lace makes a great string for the bow drill because it's leather and it grabs the spindle, you know, unlike a nylon cord would. So I had this idea to build a modified bow drill. Basically, I'm taking a log from the forest, propping it up, and wedging it between two trees. Traditionally, with the bow drill, what I'd be doing is holding the spindle down, and I'd be putting a lot of pressure with this left hand, and I'd be bowing with this hand. What we have here is a system that uses gravity to hold down the spindle, so hopefully I'll be able just to sit back, use two hands, and get this fire going. Anytime you're making a fire with new materials, you have no idea what's going to happen. I'm expecting this thing to heat up a lot faster, but it's not lighting. Honestly, I think it still needs a little weight, but we'll give it a go. Looks like I do have a coal there. Now it's time to move that coal carefully. This is the key. You want to cradle it like a newborn baby. Gently put it in the nest, nurture that thing, and lift it up to the wind, and that should be its first breath. See, the wind's kind of swirling around, but it's going against my back now. That's where I want it. Just gently blow on it, and then it'll come into flame.
That's crazy, you can start a fire like that.
Yeah, our people were pretty smart to be able to start a fire in this manner. Fire was a gift given to us by Wiske, but that's another story which will have to wait for another day.
Can I try to start a fire using flint and steel?
Sure, Nui.
I'm a fire starter, twisted fire starter. You're the fire starter, twisted fire starter.
Now that you know how to do this, Nui, here is your own set of fire-making tools. Remember to respect the fire and the spirit of Skodansi which lives in it. We never put trash in a traditional fire. We will often light a fire for 4 days when someone is ill. Many of our ceremonies, such as seasonal feasts, also go on for 4 days, and they'll keep a fire going for all 4 days. A person will sit with the fire at all times. In the olden days, if a person disrespected the fire by throwing trash in it or spitting in it, a person would put the fire out and move to a different location.
Don't worry, Mesho. I will respect the fire.
I wasn't worried at all, really.